All right, y'all. So here's part 2 of what boxing is, what it should and shouldn't be. And let me start this video off by going with one of the last points that I was making in the, first part of this video, of this series rather, was, me saying, if I'm being offered $35 million to fight one fighter and I'm being offered 15 for the other, even if the people want to see me fight this guy more, where I'm being offered 15, oh no, fuck that. I'm going for that 35. Oh, I'm going for that 35 first. Then I'm going to come back and get that 15. But, and that's not even the problem. Besides people impatience and their immaturity, okay, and being just delusional, detached from reality, man, like, the problem, okay, the real problem in that, it's not going for the bigger money. It's when you get to the point where you're in that position and you go, damn, I don't have to fight against the very, very top guys. I can just pick and choose and fight certain people because, hey, man, I'm a household name. And then you keep claiming to be the best fighter, but you won't fight the very best fighters that's available to you. But you don't have a problem with people coming up 2-3 weight classes to fight you. But you yourself are in a position of, okay, fuck it. When a fighter says, I can do whatever I want and all this shit, I don't respect that, but I understand what they're doing. Now, what the real problem is, isn't even the fighter in that sense. The real problem is you motherfuckers. Because you have the power to say, okay, since you don't want to fight the very top guys, how about we don't fucking order your next pay-per-view, or we don't fucking watch your next fucking event, so your streams are going to be extremely low, right? No, you make excuses. Well, I wanted to see, such and such on the undercard. But okay, it doesn't make a difference why. But if you're making content and you're complaining, or you're coming on someone's channel complaining about what this person is doing, but you're supporting their fights, then you are a part of the problem. They get the message when they go, damn, nobody's fucking ordering this fight. How many times have we seen situations where a fight was relocated and postponed because of low ticket sales? Poor ticket sales, pitiful, ridiculous, laughable ticket sales. And they keep postponing and repushing the fight here. Now it's there, now it's there. And they keep pushing it back. Why? Because they're trying to find the best possible fucking venue where they don't have half the fucking building tapered off because nobody showed up. So you guys have the control. You have the power. That's what you don't understand. You create who the next star is going to be with their effort and going in the ring and delivering. But now we're with this whole, I'm only with this person, I only cheer for that person, I don't like him, I don't like her. And that's not what boxing is, what it should be. And that's not, but that definitely is what it shouldn't be. And that's what it become. That's what it's become. But that's not. There's always been corruption in boxing. There's always been, the big wigs are going to get paid first. They're always going to get the biggest checks. So at the end of the day, listen, let me say this. When we're talking about the best fighting the best, and you have guys doing that, but because people don't like this person, they don't want to give them their props and their credit for what they're doing. Well, that's something different. Now, I watched a Talk Sports video. It was an interview with Eddie Hearn. Now, his prediction on Fury versus Usyk 2 is he's expecting to see a different Fury. He thinks the fight's going to be much closer and that Fury might even win the fight. Okay. Well, I noticed that since Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum have, kind of put their differences aside, because notice, he even sat with Team Fury at the press conference. But he basically is it's like he's trying to play neutral, and he's somewhat trying to lean towards Fury. At the same time, it doesn't matter. But you see, here's the reality. It doesn't matter who the fighter is. You're a promoter, okay? And your team is going to speak on your behalf. Like, example, if tomorrow AJ and Hearn were no longer business partners. Do you really think, let me get out the sun. Do you really think that Eddie Hearn is going to talk about AJ as being better? Let's say, for example, he starts to manage Dubois. You don't think that Eddie and he's his promoter, not AJ's anymore. You don't think that Hearn is going to say, "Well, Dubois beat you once, he'll beat you again." Now, Eddie Hearn is being down to earth in terms of how he's looking at AJ. Like he said, he's saying, I agree. When you see a fighter lackluster in training, the motivation isn't there. They're looking bad in training, sparring, everything. You pretty much know. I've been telling you guys this for years now. You know in training if the fighter still has it or not. Crossing the fingers, hoping that come fight night it all clicks is what a lot of people do. And most of the time that shit doesn't work. So basically, Eddie Hearn said you're not seeing any of that in Anthony Joshua. And he's saying no matter what he says, we won't know. Maybe that might be happening now, but we won't know until AJ gets back into training and we see what he's looking like. But as far as the hunger and the desire, and it's like, no, I don't think that AJ has lost anything, but we don't know that. And this is what I tell you guys, man. It's about being honest. Now, he has a relationship with Anthony Joshua. He's friends with him and all of that as well, outside of boxing. But the point, what I'm saying to you is, we've seen promoters split. We've seen trainers split. We've seen all this before. And they go to the other side, start speaking against the fighter that they were once promoting. Bob Arum once said Floyd Mayweather was the greatest fighter he ever saw. Greater than Sugar Ray, greater than Ali, greater than everybody. Everybody. Okay? What is he saying about Floyd Mayweather now? Not the same things. So my point is, if you manage to be friends like Ben Davison and Tyson Fury, where he's not going to say anything bad about Fury, but bottom line, if he's training his fighter to fight against Fury, do you really think he's going to stand there and say, hey man, Fury might win this fight, but hey, we're just going to cross our fingers and try? No, he's going to speak on behalf of his fighter, and if he did, that would probably be the last time he promoted that fighter or managed that fighter, rather. So when you listen to people talk, man, it's like boxing has become so watered down and so childlike. It's like you have to honestly be a kid to relate to this shit. The logic that people have. So, and it's not about having a difference of opinion. It's the reasons that people come to the conclusions that they come to that make me laugh, because I'm like, seriously? Now, as far as predicting a fight, you just never know what's going to happen. Look at, for example, this guy Blair Cobb. He went from calling out Jerron Boots Ennis to now calling out Conor Benn. Next week, he might be calling out Boots Ennis again. Hell, the following week, he might be talking about a rematch with Adrian Broner. Who knows? All right, but bottom line, these guys flip-flop. And this is something that let me give you something. A rule of thumb, you can always tell when a fighter is talking more than their mind is actually made up. Anytime a fighter's locked in on someone, they call out that fighter. Like Keyshawn Davis calling out Tank Davis, he's locked in on him. He wants that fight. He wants that fight. And no matter what you say to Keyshawn Davis, his attitude is like, yeah, I want to fight nothing but the best fights, but he wants the Tank Davis fight. If Keyshawn Davis starts going, oh yeah, hell yeah, I want him, then he calls out 5 or 6 different names. You're only going to fight one person at a time. You're not locked in on any particular person. You're saying their names because it's going to be in the algorithm, okay? And other videos are going to come up, and your video is going to come up. So every interview that you're on, guess what? However many people copy that name, that title, and put those names in there, guess what? They're going to watch. And they're going to watch you. And your stock is going to go up in terms of your popularity. This is what these fighters try to do. So when these guys are telling you, oh, I want to fight this guy, that guy. Look, if you look at certain fighters like Wilder, like Fury, several fighters we can look at, many of them, Canelo. Okay, we can look at several fighters. If you look at how many of them, all of them that I named, and some more, where they mention several names or they either avoid certain names. Years have gone by and they still have never fought those particular fighters. But the fighters that they said, I want this guy, those fights happen. This is exactly the point of why I'm saying when you fall for the okie doke every time, who the fuck are we talking to when we're making videos? This is why I said I want the people on my channel that understand boxing, that have some understanding of life, that understands there has to be a purpose for you doing things. Not some fucking mysterious, magical, mystical shit. No, I mean, like when you get up and go to work, why do you go to work? I mean, can you live rent-free? Can you just walk into a supermarket and take what you want? Can you just go to a gas station and just pump for free? Huh? When you want clothes, you just go to a clothing store and just take what you want. Do you have to buy these things? Huh? Do you live mortgage-free? Do you not have to pay utilities? So you understand, there's a purpose for what you're doing. I ain't talking about all this afterlife shit and all that and magical, mystical power shit. I'm talking, what is your purpose? You create your purpose. Not some magic. You do. What is my purpose? What do I want? What is my goals? What is my ambitions and desires? You create that. So when I hear people talking about boxing, almost like some magical shit is in the air. Just like, oh, this fight's gonna happen because, man, listen, I've never in my life been afraid of any fucking one. I understand, like I said before, this is a fucking business. And for all of those people that sit there on their videos talking shit about certain fighters but don't understand the dynamics of what's happening, they're just speaking off of what they think. Man, you have no idea how many of these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just say shit that sounds good to you because if you hate AJ and someone's speaking against AJ, see, he knows what he's talking about. If someone hates Wilder, it sounds good to you because they hate Wilder. No, someone like myself, who I'm not coming from a space of hate, I'm coming from a space of reality. And when your math ain't mathing, and I'll let you know it, haters are gonna always, ignorant, immature people, fuck the hater shit. The ignorant, immature people are always gonna be the ones, why you hating on Wilder, man? Why you hating on this one? You still don't get it. These people will not grow up because this generation is very immature. So a motherfucker right now that's 20 will be 80 one day with the same immature, ignorant mentality. Because they just don't understand life. They indulge in fantasy shit. Okay, fantasy shit. Why do you think, even for people who actually have participated in various things, why do you think people like Perkins and Stephen A. Smith and all these guys sit up and get to the point where they're truly, like, literally arguing with each other to try to change each other's mind to make their narrative and their perspective legit? I don't give a fuck who you think is better than who. You hear me say this all the time, right? I don't care if the person that I'm saying I want to see win, lose, just make the shit happen. You don't hear me saying, the only times you hear me say it's wise to keep certain fighters from other fighters is when they're trying to bring a fighter back. And that fighter has been on a losing streak and they can't afford another loss. So even though they still can lose, well, if you can bring them back, like when we talk about Adrian Broner, and I've been telling you guys for the past 3 fucking years, Adrian Broner is fucking done. But y'all hard-headed asses, no, but Aries, man, I disagree. I think that Adrian, hey, brother, you can disagree all you want. But when he gets in the ring and he's struggling to be the C-class fighter, when he's struggling to be the guy that nobody even fucking ever heard of, didn't even know that this guy was a boxer, when he fucking gets in the ring and he fucking won't let his hands go and he's in there having lackluster performances and you still think that he has a chance, hey, brother, suit yourself. Then he goes in the ring and it took the Blair Cobb fight to make people go, and fucking Adrian talking all this shit, and he goes in there and get his ass, well, fuck Adrian. This is the conclusions they come to based on what? Because you guys chose to believe that Adrian Broner was still the same Adrian. It's going to take something to bring it out of him. I don't live off fantasy. You know? I look at what you've done and what you've done last. So when you hear me say, I have to see what Anthony Joshua is looking like after his last fight. I have to see what he looks like now. You don't hear me going, oh man, he just had a bad night. Trust me, you just you wait. He's going to be back and he's going to be better. How the fuck do I know that? I don't know that he's going to come back better or as good. I don't know that. So this is my, when I'm speaking from the space of reality, not fucking what I want to see or what, that's a whole different conversation. What you want to see, you might want to live in a mansion, but you're not even close to having $100K in the fucking bank. So how the fuck is this going to work? You can want whatever the fuck you want. That doesn't mean that it's true. That doesn't mean it's going to come into fruition. So we don't know this. And it's so fucking sad because someone in my position have to talk to and deal with a bunch of fucking morons who deal with fantasy shit. When you hear me speak highly of Sky Nicholson, I'm not guaranteeing you that she's going to beat Serrano. I believe she can beat Serrano. I believe she's better than Serrano. I can't guarantee you shit though. I don't know what's going to happen, but my money would be on Sky Nicholson. It's not guaranteeing you shit. You're not wrong for having an opinion. Once again, a lot of people logic, like I said, it's like what they see to come to the conclusions they come to is fucking laughable, man. I hear people say things, even like with when we talk about Wilder, and you heard me saying, Wilder, if he is gonna try to stick around and he's not putting an expiration date on his career to say, okay, I'm retiring next year or the next year, whatever, and I said, for him to come back and fight a Derek Chisora, a Dillian White, guys that are clearly not the same anymore, and give him the best chance that he can possibly have of winning fights against guys that do have respect on their name, that's the route that they could take. Now, if you build him up to say he's the best heavyweight out there, blah, 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 yet he can't beat Fury. He's never fought Usyk. He's never fought AJ. AJ just lost his last fight, so people are saying that might be the fight that could make, because they're saying AJ's washed up. He could be. I don't know. But when I'm saying that, what's the purpose? Let's say Wilder goes in there and his very next fight, let's just say, is with Efe Ajagba, and Efe knocks him out. Where does Wilder go from there? Like I told you guys, man, let's look at the favoritism. Joseph Parker beat Wilder. He beat Zhang. Yet, they were offering Wilder title shots. Now, I'm hearing that Joseph Parker is supposed to be fighting Dubois. But this is my point. Why did it take so fucking long for anybody to say, hey, Joseph, you've earned this, man. We want to, what? Why did it take so long? So, everything I tell you guys, it's not about favoritism, man. And anybody who's been listening to me, if you don't understand that I don't do the favoritism thing and I speak from the heart, then you basically are just blind and you pretty much don't listen. You're one of those people that sit here probably staring at the screen with your bottom lip poked out, your mouth wide open and drool dripping off your lip, and you're not understanding nothing that's being said. It's not called switching. It's called telling the truth. Just like when I said, as far as Jaron Boots Ennis was speaking and saying how the first 4 rounds, he was on dude, and, the rematch with that guy, I always forget how to say his name, but, his very last fight. And after that, it was just like he just wasn't into it. It's like Jaron. Like I said, that same shit can happen to you if you're in the ring with Crawford or Spence or anybody else. What the fuck? That's a lack of discipline, man. That's a lack of discipline, and what the fuck? Why would you take a fight that you can't get up for then? So if you're feeling like you don't want that fight, you only want to fight champions, or you only want to fight, guys like Crawford or Spence or whatever, man, listen, that's not how boxing goes, man. You got to be focused and ready. Now, am I hating on Jaron Ennis for saying what the fuck I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how nobody takes it anyway, because I'm going to speak the truth regardless. But, what Jaron is saying is something that he needs to get over. Grow up. Roy Jones used to say that shit. I don't know, man. I can't get up for these guys because I don't know what they got to beat me with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. Then why take the fucking fight, Roy? Why not just say, listen, I can't get up for this guy, man. I don't know much about him. Why? If you think that sounds unprofessional, think about this. It doesn't sound unprofessional. And if you think that the fans are going to think it's an excuse, so what? The fans are going to always think something. But if you said that, you also could take the time to say, let me watch fights of this guy. Yeah, because you could always do that. And guess what? Now you can see what he has. And to say, I can't get up for this guy. I never understood that shit, man. I never understood that shit. If you are going to say afterwards, I can't get up for this guy, now it's an excuse. Because what you're saying is either you lost or you had a bad performance. And my whole thing is, for people that think you have to look like 100% perfect in every fight, like, you just can't have a performance where you don't look your best. That means you're not ready, or all this bullshit. You know how many fucking veteran fighters have had fights where they didn't look their best? Like, example, when Holyfield fought against Bobby Chez, and everybody was like, somewhere there's a guy named Mike Tyson, and he's looking going, oh, I'll fight Evander Holyfield. Yeah, send the contract right away. Why? Because Bobby Chez was getting hit with massive shots and wouldn't go down, but then he pretended that Holyfield something was burning his eyes and all this bullshit. The referee said he put his finger on what you call his gloves and stuff, and all, he got nothing. So he doesn't know what Bobby Chez is talking about. See, unlike the Sonny Liston Muhammad Ali fight, where Liston did that shit, the Letterman tried to put that shit, get it in Ali's eyes and blind him. This is what Bobby Chez claimed was happening. Well, at the end of the day, though, people saw that fight and thought, oh man, I remember it like it was yesterday. Tyson gonna kill this dude, man. Holyfield can't fuck with him. He couldn't knock this little motherfucking cruiserweight out. What happened when they fought? Yeah. Whole different situation when they fought each other, wasn't it? So my whole thing with that, even Bobby Chez said, Holyfield tried to take me out. He tried to take my head off and he couldn't knock me out. What's he gonna do against Tyson? Everybody and their mama thought Tyson was going to destroy Evander Holyfield. But my point is, it was because he had a performance that people considered lackluster. No, just every fight doesn't go the same way. I don't look and see, and this is what makes a dangerous fighter. When you see things and understand, nah, it wasn't a lackluster performance. That guy just did better than people thought he was going to do. Or you can see and understand where this fighter is still dangerous and how things could have went left, but it didn't, because this fighter was still on point with certain things, with things that to keep control of the fight. We just watched Jaron Boots Ennis win a unanimous decision, and he's saying he didn't like his performance, that he feel like he knows he could do better and all that. And it's like, listen, you guys always come up with how I couldn't get up for this guy or whatever excuse it is because you didn't look the same, or the fans are giving you grief. Man, you motherfuckers better understand. It's just like when you go to whatever your day-to-day job is. You don't hit a home run every day. You've had days where you wasn't at your best. You wasn't. But you have it in you. Tomorrow's a different day. So I don't know why people act like boxing or basketball or some sport is something different. It's these people fucking job, man. It's their job. So I don't know where this stupid shit comes from. And people, well, look, if he would have fought such and such like that, well, guess what? That's a fantasy, because he didn't fight such and such like that. He just fought this guy. How do you know how he's going to fight the next guy? And what I'm saying, once you get into that mindset of putting yourself, you put so much pressure on yourself to where the expectations that you have for yourself might not really be realistic with what your capabilities are. How the fuck does a fucking fan, especially that sits up on the couch all day watching everybody else, that feels proud because he knows all the dates and times and where his motherfucker was born and where they grew up and what school who gives a fuck about all of that shit? I'm a student of the game. No, you are a fanboy. Nobody gives a fuck about all that shit. Why the fuck do I need to know what high school Sugar Ray Leonard went to? The fuck does that have to do with what he does in the ring? I don't care about that shit. This is what I mean about what boxing is and what it should and shouldn't be, man. Boxing is a sport and / business. And you fight for your money. That's why they call it prize fighting. Okay? But when you get to the point where all we're talking about is who don't want to fight who, and why fights aren't happening, and who's ducking and who's, man, I mean, yeah, it's like, what are we talking about? Why are we even doing this shit? For what? Who are we talking to? an audience that's brain dead, that don't understand boxing, but they're more into the fucking childish he said, she said. Somebody told me this and somebody said that about him and this. You know, I remember when Mike Tyson tried to do that shit to Evander Holyfield at the press conference, and Holyfield said, well, first of all, you know, he's saying I said whatever. I didn't say. But we got to fight anyway. So what's going to happen in the ring, that's what we're going to settle at. I ain't worried about all that he said, she said. I've seen Rashad Evans do that same thing to John Jones and the UFC. You know what you did. You know what you said about me and this and that and all. I mean, it's like John Jones has always been such a threat. You know, Rampage Jackson did the same thing. You know, they try to come up with calling people fake and they're two-faced. They just create shit to say. And it's like, okay, well, if you don't like the motherfucker, then yeah, go kick his ass. They give you more reason to go punch him in the face. But they all did this to John Jones. And I'm like, that very tactic of trying to make it seem like he's two-faced or he's a backstabber. I don't know him personally. He could be. I don't know. But the point, what I'm saying is, all of these people that were saying these things, I noticed they all took a page from the other person, from each other to do this, and they all got their asses handed to them. Badly. And it's like they needed that to try to, you know, pump themselves up, psych themselves up, you know, maybe try to get the crowd against that person. But it didn't work. John Jones fucked up every one of those dudes. Now, you take into consideration, right, that you see people do the same thing in boxing, and it's the same things where there's no story outside of it. You've never heard this person talk about this stuff before, but now all of a sudden they come with this storyline shit. When George Camboso said that Devin Haney was a sellout and all this shit, I remember like post-conference shit when he was going to the back, and I remember Bill said, where'd you get the whole sellout thing from? And remember, and George Camboso goes, oh, I just made it up. Of course. That's what they do. This is exactly what I'm fucking saying. See, entertainment belongs in entertainment. Boxing is boxing. And we have to know where to draw the line and separate boxing from the bullshit. You know, example, right? I was watching this rapper. They was talking about, it was Kane, Big Daddy Kane, was being interviewed. And the dude says to him, what do you think about the Kendrick Lamar, Drake battle, or whoever the fuck, whichever one of the motherfuckers are battling Drake, Kendrick Lamar or whoever. And when he says that, and so Kane says that, and the same shit, before I even heard Kane say this shit, I said the same exact thing to somebody like months, good 6-7 months even prior to that, even maybe before that, to someone else about the same shit. Kane said he enjoyed the battle, which, you know, battle rap to me is just like, man, I can't, man. I lost. You know, you try to support certain things, man. You try to, certain things you have an interest in, but then it's like you watch it, and the more you watch it, it's like, why the fuck am I watching this shit? Because it's just that bad? Okay. So Kane says he enjoyed the battle, but the fans fucked it up for him. Simply because instead of them, yo, that line when he said such and such and such and such, yeah, and then he came back with this and that, yeah, that was hard, but see, I like when that's not what they're doing. He's like, man, the fans are more concerned with, yeah, but that's not true though. I Googled it, I looked it up, and his father was never locked up, or this never, and it's like, yeah, they're so busy trying to prove what's true and what's false that it's like, bro, so it's not about the bars. It's more of a personal thing. Either I rock with Kendrick or I rock with Drake. If I rock with Drake, fuck Kendrick. If I rock with Kendrick, then fuck Drake. It's not about the thrill of the competition. It's not about the battle itself. It's trying to dig up to see who's really real. If you watch reaction videos, right? I don't care what it's to, whether it's songs or movies or sitcoms, these people during the reactions, they clearly overthink every fucking thing. How the fuck do you watch a movie like Dumb and Dumber, right? And make a reaction to that, and your reaction to Dumb and Dumber, which is a hilarious comedy that is as dumb as it's supposed to be, and it's funny, and how stupid it is, and the mindless dumb shit that they do is to make you laugh, and you get it. This generation is so fucking like soft and emotional and sissy. Like, how the fuck do you react to Dumb and Dumber? Like, oh, that's so sad. Like, I don't want to call him, the D word. I don't want to call him dumb. Bitch, that's the name of the fucking movie. It's just that he doesn't know. Like, they don't realize that they're not smart, That's just so sad. Oh, like, I know someone that he's not the smartest person, but he's so sweet. And, it makes me think about, bitch, what the fuck are you talking? This is how they react to movies. This is a fucking comedy, which means your reaction should be more like, oh, shit. You know what? The motherfucker just said they needed a way back home, right? And then this bus stop with all these girls that needed two guys to come in there and just oil them up and take a tour with them and shit. They'll pay them on top of that, right? And then this is their way out, their way back home. And before they even go back home, because remember, what are they going back home to, right? If you remember the movie, right? They were after them and shit. And remember, they went in there and killed the bird and all that and whatever, right? But they were too dumb to realize that, yeah, this is, oh shit, they go all right. And then they go, hey, some lucky person is gonna be, this, that, whatever. Remember the part when Lloyd was telling Harry, I'm gonna get you to bet before the day is over. I don't know how. All right, bet. And then he made the bet. He already had him. He already had him to do what he wanted him to do, but he didn't even realize it. Yeah, okay, we get it. Remember when they was sleeping in the fucking how did this go? Lloyd's character, first Harry was driving. They stopped at the fucking 7-Eleven or Quickie Mart or whatever the fuck it was. And so now Harry sleeps and Lloyd starts to drive. Now they're driving the whole fucking time, right? And Lloyd didn't realize that they were going in the wrong direction. So they're supposed to be going to the Rockies, right? Out to Aspen. Now what happens? They see all of these trees and shit instead of mountains. Remember that part? And fucking Lloyd character goes, or Harry goes, man, you expect the Rocky Mountains to be a little more rocky than this. He goes, yeah, that John Denver's full of shit, man. We're cracking the fuck up when we first saw this movie. And every time I watch it, I laugh the same way. Why? Because we know the song that John Denver made called The Rockies and what he's singing about in that song. But they were too dumb to realize, no, it's not that John Denver's full of shit. It's just that you motherfuckers been driving the wrong direction all night. You're watching this shit. Oh my God. Can you imagine driving that far and you're going the wrong direction? Oh, that's sad. And I'm like, yo, you motherfuckers, why am I giving y'all these examples? It just goes to show you people are so in favor of suffering and being sad and upset that they don't even want to fucking laugh. You are doing a fucking reaction video to a comedy to see how funny it was. And everything they're doing, you're, oh, that's so sick. I'm telling you guys, the mindset of people are fucked up. They are fucked up. You don't even know how to laugh at some shit. You're busy booing it or like in the fact that, oh, that's sad. Oh, I hate people like that. Oh, this and that. Oh, but I remember that, why would you do that? But if you, like, man, I can't. Once again, you try to show love to certain people's channels. You try to show love to a certain genre. I can't fuck with these reaction videos. I tried. I can't. It's like, oh my goodness. Because if there's 100 people doing reaction videos, and I know it's more than 100, but if it's 100 people, it might be 2 or 3 people that does reactions, and you go, okay, they react in a more reasonable way. They're reacting to the scenes, and what you react to something. The lingo was different, the style of dress was different, right? And they don't get it, man. They just don't get it. It's like, it's not that it wasn't funny, you just didn't understand what it meant. You don't understand the lingo. You do a reaction video to a movie like Black Dynamite and don't realize that they're paying homages to the black exploitation films era, to all that. What do you think when Michael John White is throwing punches and kicks and he's, hey! Who is he imitating? That's Jim Kelly. Okay? When he's talking about being in the Vietnam War and he goes, it's this one kid that I'll never forget. And he's talking about his little Chinese eyes, right? He got charred down his little Chinese knees. He's saying Chinese, but they're in Vietnam. It's like the comedy just goes over people's heads. The common sense, they just don't have it. And this is why we see things happen the way they happen in boxing, no differently. These people have this mentality like, instead of enjoying what I'm watching, let me find something to bitch about. Even when it's not a reaction video, just in general. But you see this shit, right? Why the fuck would they do something like, come on now. They was doing I watched the reaction video to Life, the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. And I can remember just this one couple, they were reacting in with the scene where they look for the guy Slim. And then, you know, when they went and made the trade, and then Eddie said, what's going on down there when they went to that club? Why would you do that, though? So I hate people like that, yo. Like, y'all got a job to do. Do your fucking job and come on back, yo. What the fuck? Like, I mean, you out here, yo, that's why I watch. I bet you something gonna happen to these motherfuckers, yo. And I'm just sitting here watching. Why are you getting in your fucking feelings and getting all emotional about a fucking movie scene? You might not have the common sense to realize this, but every time you watch this movie, you can rewind it and you can reimagine it in your head all you want. But guess what? The same shit's going to happen every single time. But this is the mentality of the people that we're dealing with. Every fucking scene. Yo, that's fucked up, though. Yo, his girl, what you expect, though? Like, you ain't fucking her, you in jail, so she fuck with your cousin, but like, yo, this and this and this and that and this. People clearly missed the point. Almost every fucking one of these reactors say shit like, when say, like, for example, when Martin's character is telling Eddie's character, yo, I get sick to my stomach every time I see you. It's because of you I'm in this mess. No. And they go, that's true. Yo, you can't front though. That's true though. You gotta give it to him, because like he the one got him in this shit, because you know what I'm saying? He was about to start his job one day. I'm like, you motherfuckers sit here and watch this movie and still don't get it. Did you guys forget they was hanging Martin? Remember they drug him out and was hanging him, was about to drown him? And Eddie's the one who saved his ass. Now Eddie pickpocketed him, yes. But there was no money in the wallet. When Claude was sitting in that stall and those guys came in, remember, that's 2 weeks' pay, took his $22 and said, you gotta leave me something. How about your legs? Yeah, legs are good. I take the legs, yeah. So when Eddie stole the wallet, there was nothing in the wallet. It's because of Eddie that he didn't drown. Remember, drop him. Remember that? And he went and made the deal, and he said, well, if you don't mind, I'd rather take the square with me or whatever. Well, he remember, and he told him, he's like, you got to be crazy. He's like Rick James' character. If I'm going to take somebody with me, I want to take somebody I know that got my back in a tight squeeze. And he goes, well, I just want to make sure I got somebody with me. It's like, I got somebody with me that's not going to put a bullet in my head after the deal is done. Not that you do that, Spank. Remember that shit? Okay, so if it's not for Eddie's character, they would have drowned and killed Martin's character, Claude. So I'm like, how the fuck do y'all sit here and watch this shit and don't understand what you're watching? And it's not just one person. It's time after time after time after time. And I'm just like, yo, these people. And I find myself watching the reaction videos to see the reactions, to just study the human behavior of it, to see the reaction, how people they just don't understand what they're watching. I grew up, and I remember watching old-ass movies, like method acting. There's no words whatsoever, no subtitles, but you understand what's going on based on their facial expressions and their actions, their movements, so you can tell what they're feeling by what they're doing. So if they're sad, they got the sad face, okay, and looking at what's happening, you could understand what was happening without words. How the fuck is it 2024? And you sit and watch a movie, and yet you claim that people from this generation is so more far advanced than you, but you can't even figure out and understand. You can't even follow a script. Like, what the fuck was so hard to understand? No. Eddie saved that dude, man. You're watching a comedy. Laugh. Stop fucking aw. What the fuck are you awing about? Anybody from my generation knows when you watch Dumb and Dumber, you're laughing your ass off of that movie. You watch Life, you're laughing your ass off of that movie. And Life was based on a true story. And it had moments where it was more serious and stuff, but it was all balanced so well. And it was just a funny, great, awesome movie. Dumb and Dumber was just funny stupidity to its core, and it was funny as fuck. So when I say that, I'm not saying it to put the movie down. It's what it was supposed to be. It comes from that era of like The Naked Gun, where they done such stupid shit, but it's just so fucking funny. You know, like you remember the scene when they were looking for I forget to get his name, Frank Drebin. They was looking for him, and he went on the back of this truck. I think it was the back of a truck, and they had 4 barrels, and one said like explosives, the other one might have said oil, and the other one said whatever. Then the other one said for hiding. They checked every barrel except for the one that said for hiding. You know, like little shit like that just catch you and make you laugh. And these fucking people are doing reaction. Oh, come on, seriously? Why the fuck wouldn't they check that barrel? Because, dumbass, it's a part of the fucking comedy. They overthink everything. They always want to compare a movie, a fucking video game, a cartoon to actual real life. It's not real life. It's like watching Rocky movies. The best part about the most realistic parts about the Rocky movies was the stories. The emotion between the characters, how they interacted with each other, the arguing back and forth, the Adrian not wanting to see Rocky go in there and get killed. You already got, we lost Apollo. This guy's gonna kill you and you can't win. Remember all that shit? Yeah, the fight scenes felt just like that. Fight scenes. They didn't feel like boxing matches. You know what they rank the worst Rocky movie? The one where he fought Tommy Gunn because he didn't fight in the ring. A lot of people didn't like that. They were upset because the fight took place in the street and not the ring. But the worst fighting movie, the worst of his fight scenes in the ring, they say is the very last one he made with Antonio Tarver. Why? If you look at that one, they tried to make that fight look more like what boxing looks like. Whereas before, it was just like 2 guys with gloves on. Now, we know if you watch Apollo, his character was supposed to be Muhammad Ali's character. Like he's copying Ali. And of course, Rocky was copying Rocky Marciano. And that's pretty much what that was supposed to be like. Now, if you look at those fights, you fucking tell me one fucking fight you've seen that looks like a fucking Rocky movie. Those were not realistic, real boxing looking fights. Nobody takes punches like that. I mean, you see this motherfuckers hold you with one hand and hit you like 10 fucking times in a row, and he's just standing doing it. What the fuck boxing match you ever seen look like a Rocky movie? If a fight, even like martial arts movies, imagine if they took the sound effects away. Imagine if all you saw, if movie fighting looked like it does in the ring, people would say it looks boring. If movie fighting, that's why it's labeled movie fighting. It's not real fighting. The angles have to be right. The way they react to the punches, everything. It has to be right. Real fighting does not look like that. In fact, if they put a real, like a street fight in the movie, or the way actual karate tournaments and stuff like go, or like UFC or whatever, if they made it look as real, like realistic in the movie as they do in real life, people would go, man, that shit's boring, man. That's why movie fighting is done differently. We have come to the point now, we don't know real boxers from fucking amateur, novice, just started, never fucking trained, never won nothing, never did shit before, but I can box because I play Undisputed and Fight Night Champions and watch it, so I think I can box. We don't even know the difference between. We got a fucking YouTuber that just made $40 million. This dude has made more fucking money than these fucking fighters are making right now. You can't even call Canelo the cash cow no more with Jake Paul around. Yeah. This is how much of a joke boxing is, and people don't understand this shit. Boxing it's not been really fun watching this shit. I don't get that same feel that I used to get. I just don't get it. And you watch this shit like, man, do people even care what's happening to boxing? And all of these people, you hear me say it, that keep saying this fight is good for the sport. That fight, how the fuck is a drug, cheat, racist, lying motherfucker good for the sport? Don't matter if it's good press or bad press. All press is good press, right? You think so? Right. Yeah, okay. Well, this is why this sport has been so watered down, and boxing as we knew it is dead. Me, the people of my generation, when we get old and we're gone and we're no longer here and whatever follows, life goes on with or without you. Either boxing is going to survive or it's going to completely fall apart. Because if something is not done on a big scale, people don't want to be a part of it. And the fact of the matter is, it's too many varieties of boxing to watch. And this is why I said, I understand different promotional companies and different things, but when it gets to the point where these companies want to have like an actual stable, they're making boxing feel like AEW versus WWE versus TNA versus MLW versus Ring of Honor. They make it like it's separate entities when it's boxing. We got our stable of fighters. We don't need them. They need us. You want to fight us? Come over here. You want to fight me? No, y'all come over here. All of these fucking things that keep boxing from flourishing the way that it should. You didn't have that problem back in the day. So yeah, even back like when people brought that up about how back in the day in the 70s and 80s, how boxing, Turki Al Sheikh talked about it. How it was the number one sport. Yeah, guess what? Because you didn't have all of those type of problems. See, it's not good to have crooked people handle business, period. But the sport was far more better when they had 3 fucking crooked people, handling the sport versus having 300. Every time you turn around, there's investors, there's different people that's sponsoring something, want to be a part of it. They don't have any knowledge of boxing. They don't care about the sport. They just care about the spectacle. Let me get paid. That's what the fuck we're seeing. So, when I look around and, like I told you, I don't get motivated by other channels. I listen for information. I listen for the truth. And I don't want to sit here and give you guys a bunch of talk about something that may or may not be and not know that it's true or not. And it just gets to the point where it's repetitive. It's all the time. It's like, do I really want to sit here and talk about what this motherfucker said about her, what she said about him? I absolutely do not. So like I mentioned in the first video of this series here, I don't care nothing about what's going on between Papoose and Claressa Shields. I don't give a fuck what's going on between Claressa Shields and Remy Ma. I don't give a fuck about what's going on between Claressa Shields and Alicia Baumgartner on a domestic level, on a personal level. All I give a fuck about is, are you motherfuckers gonna fight at 154 or not? But I'm making my stance clear. It's not because of Shields. It's because of Baumgartner and any one of these other little tiny ass women that run their mouth and talk shit like they want to smoke, but they don't want to go to 154. You using somebody's name to boost your fucking profile. It does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. And back to part of one of the points I was making in regards to Baumgartner, she's a talented fighter. Well, who is she going to fight next? So let's say her next fight is against someone nobody really cares about or don't really know. What did that do for her career going forward? So what's she going to say after that fight? She's going to repeat herself and say big things are coming. Trust me, we on to something. We got this, got bigger and better things. Your comeback fight was against Delphine Persoon, a 38-year-old woman who basically is far past her prime that had a big-ass brace on her fucking leg. Mike Tyson, who had 8 blood transfusions, came up and also, like I said, put out a tweet saying it was very hard, difficult to walk, but come fight night, I'll be ready. And everything we saw Mike doing, he was struggling, but you delusional fans didn't notice how he was staggering around after he did everything he did. And he also shows up to his fight with a fucking knee brace on. I mean, you guys act like you don't see things. It gets to the point where people don't care if what they're seeing is legitimate or not. You guys are watching fake fight and then give your little fucking analysis on it like you saw a real fight. And I'm saying maybe these people really don't understand the difference because they seem to think that Jake Paul's a real fighter. Yeah. I told you, Jake Paul win. First thing he's going to say is, I beat the baddest man on the planet. Like, man, cut this shit out. I don't give a fuck. They've been calling Mark Henry the strongest man, right? You think Mark Henry's still the strongest fucking man? How many fucking decades have they been saying that shit? Mark Henry ain't hitting them weights like he used to. I don't give a fuck. They called Ken Shamrock the world's baddest man or whatever at one point, the most dangerous man. I don't give a fuck about these little nicknames, these little titles. What does that fucking mean? What does that mean? At the end of the day, right? We don't even care about the truth anymore. Like, it wasn't a rumor that Ryan Garcia is a racist, roided up, cheating son of a bitch. No. And this motherfucker openly said what he said. He wanted people to hear him and said, ain't nobody gonna do nothing. And that's what I said. Where are you fucking Crips and Bloods at? Where are you tough guys at? Where all these nigga, I'll kill you, nigga? Where the fuck are all y'all at now? Where are you motherfucking tough guys at? Because you know what was so crazy is how these racist Trump supporters are walking around terrorizing people of color, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I wish one of you motherfucking racist motherfuckers would come out with that shit. I'll show you what everybody else is scared to show you. I'll show you motherfuckers, for real. Where the fuck are all y'all at? No, you stupid motherfuckers would see Ryan Garcia and won't do nothing. And that motherfucker went from walking freely around to walking with security. Yeah, tough guy. Real tough. But where the fuck are y'all at? So all of this shit that we see, everybody think this is entertainment? You're entertained by this goofy shit? Motherfucker wanted y'all to hear him say what he said. So y'all know he's racist. Y'all know he ain't shit. Y'all know if Devin Haney did to him, if Devin was in his shoes and vice versa, y'all wouldn't be saying he shouldn't. Y'all would be saying he should sue Devin Haney. He should sue him. That's fucked up. He could have killed him in there on steroids. Y'all, no, all y'all, black motherfuckers included, everybody would be sitting there taking Ryan Garcia's side. An openly racist motherfucker. Y'all got an openly racist fucking president, and to show you how crazy you fucking religious people are, you motherfuckers are sitting talking about calling Trump. Trump is God's president. Yeah, same motherfucker in your Bible that endorsed slavery and all that shit too. Yeah, right, I got you. You motherfuckers just don't understand shit. And then you go, but I never saw, I don't give a fuck what you didn't see. Go crack your Bible open. I can give you chapter and verse and you motherfuckers still read it and then go, well, it was different in those times. As always, let's move the goalposts. Let's make excuses because I'm religious and I want to be, and I don't want to feel like I'm racist by supporting this shit. But how the fuck can you not? See, I don't want to hear nothing about no motherfucking, but it was different back in that time. I don't even want to get off course because I can go into that shit because I talk about a lot of different shit with a lot of different people. And they don't give thought to what they say and feel. They just say shit. And they want to support it. I don't give a fuck what your mom and your daddy taught you. I was taught by mine too. And I also came to realize a lot of shit that they believed and thought was wrong. And if you support something that has poor morals, and I ask a person, is there anything that your wife, your husband, your sons or daughters, any of your loved ones can do that you would say you deserve, eternal damnation? You're going to burn in hell for the rest of your life and you deserve it. And the first thing they're going to tell you is no. If you say no, then you need to shut up. Because at the end of the day, there's no moral way to have a slave. No way possible. No way. So, we deal with real life, not fantasy over here. Look, case in point. I talk to a lot of people on a regular basis from different places. All right? And one of the things that I tell everybody is a lot of people, they come to me and they want to talk to me about religion. They want to talk to me about spirituality. They want to talk to me just about, life as it is. And people are in bad places. Some people they don't know what to do. They, mentally, somebody find out they got a gay son or daughter, or what should I do? My church is saying that. I talk to people about a lot of shit. And one thing that I always tell people, and anybody that knows me personally will vouch, you have to love yourself and you have to love people, but you have to give them the truth. But you have to know the difference between the truth and your opinion. It's very easy to say something to a person and think that you're right because of the way you was taught. Like I can give you all a story, true story. Okay, in New Jersey, Rockaway, New Jersey, there's a mall called the Rockaway Mall. This shit almost fucking made the fucking news. It could have easily made the news. I stopped these guys from beating up this transgender person. This person wasn't bothering anybody. Now, the story is that this is what happened. I'm not talking about something somebody told me. I was there. What happened was this. When you go to this mall, there's a Applebee's. As one of the entrances, when you walk in, it'll take you straight to an Applebee's, right? Which is inside the Rockaway Mall. Right outside, there's a bench outside. So I just see what appeared to be a woman sitting there on the bench. Now, I'm standing there, so the person looked up and smiled and said hello. And I just said, how are you? And he's like, I'm fine, it's a beautiful day. Now, by the voice and by looking, you could even tell. All right? So, this car had pulled up, and I just said, yeah, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. And I said, all right, enjoy the rest of your day. And I started to sit down, then I didn't. And I walked to the other entrance to go to a particular store. And when I was coming out, this person was still sitting there. But these guys were in front of me like, yo, nah, because she said this and this and that. Nah, man, that bitch think it's all about her, yo. Like, she acting like, bitch probably got a man. Like, so what, bitch? Your man ain't here, this and this and this and this and that, yada, yada. So, they're saying all of this shit. I don't know that they're talking about her. But when I come out the store, it's connected to the sidewalk. So, I'm walking around because I ordered. I was going to Applebee's, and they'll tell you like 45-minute wait. They'll get that little buzzer thing. When it buzzes, then okay, your food is ready. Or you're ready to be seated. Not your food is ready. You're ready to be seated. So that's what happened. So I'm up there. I got family with me. So the guys were trying to talk to this person, and all of a sudden, the person said, "Look, if a person is not showing you interest, why don't you just leave the person alone? Why do you have to insist? It's like you guys are like, what do you think? I'm going to just say yeah to give you your way? Like, no, I'm not going anywhere with you. Oh, you better than us or something, blah, 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 this and that, whatever. And then, what's so different about you, bitch? What's so special about you? Like, bitch, I got money, this and this, I got money, what the fuck? This, like this motherfucker's being consistent. And then the person got so angry, they said, okay, well, I tell you what, you got a big dick? And the motherfucker go, hell yeah, I got a big dick. And the transgender go, you know what, so do I. I got a big one too. So you gonna suck mine first, I'm gonna suck you. And and pull the motherfucker out right there, like, yeah, I'm sick of you motherfuckers. You always come with this shit. And it's my business who I am and what I am, but you're just like not gonna leave me alone, right? Yo, then the dude goes, why the fuck you trying to let me push up on you? You know damn well you a man. And it, like, so that, yo, this and this and this, and trying to hulk up and all. So at this point, I'm sitting up here like, wow. Now, I could have just said, oh, that's their problem, and went in. Something inside of me was just like,
disconnected.
Nah. So at this point, I'm like, hey, yo, listen. Leave this person alone. Go the fuck where y'all go. You out here acting like a begging ass bum, like you gonna force this person to get in the car with y'all. You want some rape shit? Nah, I don't know rape shit. I'm saying, like, but I was like, yo, listen, I don't give a fuck about your story. Leave the motherfucker alone. No means no. And now that you know that this person got a dick, you gonna keep standing here arguing? Like, what, you wanna reconcile or some shit? Do you wanna suck on the motherfuckers? No, hell no. All right, then get in your fucking car and go. Because now you're starting to get on my motherfucking nerves. And they was like kind of looking around. And I was like, you know what? And I ain't do it to intimidate the motherfucker, but I just took off because I had my fitted on, whatever. I just took off my jacket. I'm like, if y'all want to stay, y'all want a problem? No, ain't no problem, no, ain't no problem. We out. And they left. Now, my thing was, I don't care about this person's personal life. That's their business. And that situation had nothing to do with me. I don't like bullies, though. And that's all that shit was. And that person, when somebody gets so angry that they have tears, but the person was apologizing for crying, like, man, you gotta, hey, look, just be safe out here. And kept thanking me. I'm like, hey, you're welcome. I just don't like bullies. Simple. That's all. You don't owe me anything. I said, but hey, be safe and just watch your back. Was watching the person was like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna call my friend and just tell her I'll meet her. We'll just go and relax because I was supposed to meet her here and this and that, whatever. And I went on about my business. Okay, this is the type of shit that I'm saying though. You see, you have people like Ryan Garcia, you're just like a gay-ass faggot, and you're fucking weird, and all that shit he was saying. And I'm like, now, where's this LGBT community? Why is this dude able to say all this shit, but yet a straight man can say, hey, I don't do gay shit. Hey, I'm not into no damn, I'm not into that. All of a sudden, we're motherfucking homophobic and all this other shit, which I don't give a fuck about people business, their opinions or whatever. But I'm saying this shit just made me laugh because not that part about them trying to beat the transsexual person up, about Ryan Garcia saying all the shit he's saying, yet you got all these different people within boxing saying that this dude is good for the sport. A hateful, demonizing ass, fucking ignorant, stupid, racist motherfucker, drug cheat is good for the sport. And when I heard Eddie Hearn and different people saying that shit and people that was trying to make excuses for him, and it's like as time went on, I really sat back and looked and just thought about, I could hear their voices, like when I would see certain things, like just remember them saying, like how he's good for the sport. People of different sports saying the same type of shit. Because his popularity, I don't think they're going to do this and that. And I mean, because, yeah, he's hey, man, this guy's he can make a lot of money. And I'm just sitting here like, listen to these motherfuckers. This is the world we live in, people. People don't give a fuck about what's true. They don't give a fuck about morals. They don't value anything. Everything about these people is money, money, money. And what I'm saying to you guys right now, you might find yourselves one day just not watching boxing anymore. Because it's like, what the fuck am I watching? It's crazy. Somebody the other day asked me, because I showed them how to throw like a quick 3-piece. And the person said they asked me because they noticed, they see me like stand to my right, so they assumed that I was a southpaw. I said, true. Yeah, I am a southpaw. I can fight orthodox or southpaw. But the guy was like, yeah, and he says to me, I'm not they telling me because I'm southpaw that I should fight orthodox because like my power hand is in front. And I got my techniques, which I'm not going to give away, but I taught him something and how to utilize your power hand being in front of you. Because you got to be comfortable to do something completely different, first off. But I showed him. And bottom line is, I threw the fucking combination so quick, he said, yo, what the fuck did you just do? And he's like, yo, that shit was so damn fast. And I did it again. And I showed him. Then I slowed it down, and I had him do it with me slow. Then I'm going to speed up a little bit. Now do it slow again. Now speed up. Speed up. Now after he got it, now his hand speed is not nearly as fast as mine, but he's a lot smaller. And he was like overwhelmed, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo. But he was, and I said, okay. And I started showing him other combinations and just stuff to work on. And I said, and basically he just wanted to know how to defend himself, but he says in the gym that they always tell him, I said, yeah, they always going to tell you that. I said, but I'm going to show you. And I showed him some shit. And what started out as me just showing him something ended up being like 2 hours of me schooling him on shit and showing that he was so fucking appreciative that he actually went home and got money and came back. He was like, could you train? I'm like, nah, man, I don't want no money. And, so, yeah, from time to time, I'm going to look out for the guy when I can. And he's a cool guy, man. Cool guy. And things like that, man, where, like, you can help people do things. And he was telling me, like, yeah, man, my parents don't speak any English at all. And I tried to, work with, I don't know. It's like I'm working, but I might have to work a second job because I don't, my parents don't speak English. And that's the problem as far as them finding work because they can't communicate. So I'm trying to get, somebody to come to the house that can maybe, teach them how to speak English and stuff. And that way, because it'll help me because I'm taking care of both of my mom and dad, man. He said, they're here with me, but we don't have that much room. See, when I was by myself, it was fine, and things of that nature. So I said, okay, cool. So I found the translator for him, and the person comes by and my whole thing in life is, man, I'm not a hateful person. I don't understand how people can go through life feeling the way they do and feeling good about themselves, but this is what we do. And this dude is so grateful to me just for the things that I help him do, but I don't want anything in return. Respect and gratitude to understand I'm doing something I don't have to do. Cool. That's appreciated when people realize that you are stepping, you're stepping outside of what, you're normally doing to help someone when you don't have to. I don't want his money. I'm not doing it for that. But he's very grateful, and what really makes me feel pleased about it is because he learned that shit, and he's learning. He's a quick learner, and he's understanding. And like I told him, don't become a bully, don't become arrogant. Understand defending yourself, and being able to hold your own. And I teach him a ground game if he want to at some point or whatever. But right now, just keeping it up on the feet and learning how to He's solid, man, but he's a good dude, man. And these are the types of things that just a little, just little things, man. I don't understand. I can't relate to ignorance. I can't relate to like stupidity, man. And his parents always very, I met them smiling all the time and just, good spirits. His mom loved to cook. And so, they'll my mom, she made this for you and stuff, and then she'll say something to him in Spanish to tell me, and then he'll tell me what she said in English. And very, very, very loving family, man. You know what I mean? And I just like to see people do good, man. I just like to see people do good. I like to see when people understand, man, we on this planet for a short time, man, and then we're gone. And like I said before, life goes on with or without you. But it's just something about people, man. They just don't understand this. They just don't get it, man. And so when I look at boxing, and it's like we're talking more political-based shit than actual boxing. We're talking more of the entertainment side of shit than actual boxing. We're talking more rumors and lies than actual boxing. We're talking more uncertainties and not knowing, if this fight's ever going to happen than the actual fights in boxing. What the fuck, man? It's like, what are we dealing with here? What are we doing? And it's so fucked up because, and why I gave that example is because, why I told you that story, rather, which is a true story, but why I told you that is because in boxing, you got pick a side. You can't be neutral. You can't be both. Pick a side. And you got people that's going to pick people because of their flag, because of their nationality. But when a person comes out and not make a mistake, not make a bad judgment call, then genuinely apologize for it. Nobody's forcing them to do it because they're worried about reputation or they losing endorsement. No, they genuinely understand what they did was wrong. No, people don't care. As long as we're the same nationality, I don't give a fuck what you do. I got your back. That's these people mentalities. Except for black folks. For the most part, you have some people that's like that as far as Deontay goes. Yeah, but we don't have a whole lot of black fighters where people are like that with. But yeah, but bottom line, yeah, black folks, no, black folks are all over the place trying to suck ass and trying to fit in with everybody. That's what black folks do. Yeah. But that's what people do. They stick with people from their nationality, even though that they're wrong. So what I'm saying, if I felt some kind of way about Mexican people because of Ryan Garcia, I'd have been like, go fuck yourselves. Yeah, you're not the same as me. Go fuck yourself. Go back to your country. If I'd have been, you see what I'm saying? No, I helped them. I'm aware that they're from Mexico. It has nothing to do with any of that shit. I don't give a fuck. I treat people the way they treat me. You understand? So when I see people and I see you moving funny, I just keep you in my fucking rear view. So I can see you, but I don't fuck with you. Yeah, but I don't trust you either. You understand what I'm saying? So, no, it's not like I'm sitting up here with my arms up. Hey, I just want hugs. Nah, fuck that. I hold my own. I'm all man. I just don't like what the fuck I'm seeing in boxing. And what's going on in this world is just, it's all tied together. But just like other sports and genres have disappeared and went away, boxing might be one of them. People might think because of what is going on with Turkey and that, hey, but other people are doing things. And hey, man, listen, you'd be surprised to know how many things fall apart because things don't work the way you wanted them to. So your vision doesn't mean everybody else is going to be on board for the right reasons. We need boxing to be cleaned up on so many levels, man, on every fucking level. And, the fact that you have weight classes in boxing that nobody gives a fuck about, like cruiserweights, strawweights, bantamweights, flyweights, and nobody's doing anything to try to get these smaller fighters some light. Nobody's doing anything to get them on the cards, of these big fights and have these fights treated like big fights themselves where, people don't know you and they won't get to know you if they're not being booked on shows. But instead, when you're on a show and when you're fighting, it's like 50 people in the fucking audience. Yeah, nobody knows who you are in the long run. And this is why you have champions. You ask a person, who's a champion at bantamweight, flyweight, strawweight? Motherfuckers like, who? I don't know. Nobody cares. It's like boxing starts from 135 pounds and up for the men. 130 somewhat. But once again, it's like 35 and up is where the notable fighters are. 30 and down is like, nope, I don't know them. Oh, I know a new way. Oh, I heard of this kid, Kamel Moulton. Who else? You understand what it's one of those things. But just boxing as a whole, man, it's so fucked, man. And because people think that being tied into social media any type of way is good for you, it's really not, man. I mean, it can be, but if it's not something productive, what's productive about rumors and he said, she said? What's productive about knowing what's going on in somebody's bedroom? What's productive about knowing who's getting divorced, who cheated on who did what, who said what? I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care about none of that. That's those people's business. That's their lives. We're supposed to be focused on bell to bell, the training preparation, fights on, and those things that lead up to the fight, not their personal lives. So I'm going to end this video on what boxing is, what boxing should and shouldn't be. And this is pretty much the type of shit that has been fucking with boxing, and the internet is a beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, rotten, ugly, stinking, fucked up thing. That's what it is. We need to understand what we support is going to keep things going. I learned something the other day that made me laugh, right? This person said, when you on like social media apps, and if you watch a video, according to that social media algorithm, you're interested. So, you know how you don't watch certain things, you don't type a search in, but say a certain video pop up and you let it play through? Well, unless there's an option to say don't recommend this video, like on YouTube, right, stuff like that, they'll just keep pushing those type of videos up. And so even though you're not interested, that's what they'll keep showing you. So I said, it's funny because when I look on any social media app, I don't ever just see boxing videos pop up like that. Yeah, you'll see other sports, you'll see other shit, but I don't see boxing popping up like that. So why is that? Why is that? And I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay. Now that I know this, when shit pops up in my feed, I'm not letting it play through. You know, because there's certain shit that I don't care to see. But where's boxing at? Where? And I tell people this, right? I don't like certain characteristics that people display. And I'll make it known. I don't give a fuck how they feel about it. But let me say this and let me say it again. I'm going to close this saying Alicia Baumgartner and Clarissa. Clarissa movie's coming out. Whether I watch it or not, I don't know. I mean, I have no bones about not watching it, but I'm saying like if it, I don't know if it's coming in theaters, if it's going to be on a streaming app, whatever's happening. However, more likely I'm going to watch it. But what I'm saying is, I'm not watching this to praise and glorify Clarissa Shields. I don't do that shit to nobody. My life and glory is my family, okay, and myself. But her struggles, her coming from the ghetto, coming from the fucking rough neighborhoods, I know about all that shit. Coming up in broken home systems, like, you know, shit that I'm aware of. Certain things that I've been a part of. And, you know, it's one thing when somebody go through things and then still come out to be an asshole or become arrogant. I'm better than you. I don't support anybody with that mentality. This is why you don't hear me, y'all don't hear me praising anyone. Well, I'm saying for her to come through her struggles and be able to go out and chase the dreams that she had. Cool for her, man. You know, Alicia Baumgartner and anybody else, let me say this shit right here, and I mean this shit. And I don't mean this to be mean to anybody. I'm gonna say this to my black people, because I want to get this shit off my chest. You motherfuckers are quick to jump in front of a camera and want to say something in reference to another country about saving those people or helping those people or showing a concern or sending a prayer or some shit, right? Quick. And I'm saying this and I mean this shit. I don't see nobody from no other countries, whether they live in America or they're living in whatever country they're from. I don't see nobody in no other fucking countries or from any other country saying any kind words to black Americans. I don't see anybody saying stop the injustices that's happening to black Americans. I don't see nobody saying what these dirty cops are doing, and it's actually on video, on record, so people know that it's true. You know, I don't see nobody doing that shit. So my point is, when you see this black woman who came through the same struggles as you, come from the same country as you, but y'all so full of fucking hatred and y'all want to try to shit on people and try to turn people against each other. This is exactly one of the biggest problems with us black people. Because you quick to want to suck the ass of somebody from another country just to fit the fuck in. But at the same fucking time, you shit all over somebody that came through the same struggles as you. No camaraderie, no unity. And let's be real. Think about this. For every fucking time you talk about something and say something to speak up for people, and you're talking about shit that don't pertain to you, they show you how they really feel about you. See, I'm not going to get in the Floyd situation, but you see the comment he made about the Israelis, like taking their side and looking out for them. That's what that was when you saw those guys trying to attack Floyd. Yeah, that's what that was about. Did it make them look tough? No. It wasn't a one-on-one. It wasn't like one person walked up talking. No, it was a group of them. And Floyd security made sure he was okay. He got in the car okay. Floyd was trying to go over to the guys, like he wanted the fucking fight. I think one of them took a swing at him or some shit. You see the point? What I'm saying, right? People show you their true colors. Right here in America, where you have a fighter fighting against an American, you always have a commentator go, he has a whole country behind him. Notice they never say that about the person coming from America. You don't ever hear them say, this fighter has all of America behind him or her. You don't. You don't. And one of the things that I remember, I got nothing against Savannah Marshall as a fighter. I think she's a good fighter. But Claressa Shields shows up in the UK. She's wearing the red, white, and blue. Got the American flag on her shit. Yet, Americans, black and all, were going against the American when she fought against the woman from the UK. Over on British soil. And you motherfuckers abandoned your own fighter. For what reason? Nothing but racism and hatred. For you guys that never saw it, and for you guys that did see it, you know what I'm talking about. Go watch a movie called Black Hawk Down. Yeah. Go watch Black Hawk Down. And look at the type of, and this is based on a true story as well. Go look at Black Hawk Down and have the understanding of what happened, why it happened. I don't want to say anything to people who never saw the movie in case you decide to go watch it. But if you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And this is exactly the type of shit I'm talking about with Americans. We throw each other under the bus. We're quick to shit on each other. We're quick to try to, and like I said, we'll defend a liar. We'll defend someone delusional. We'll defend someone when we clearly know something is not true. We'll defend it because of. But when someone is just relaxed to themselves, calm, humble, you don't like that either. But when someone is confident in themselves, right, and back up what they say, you don't like that. So I look and I just think, like, what would it take for people to open their eyes and understand? When people see that you'll betray your own people, they don't trust you. And that's all I see. That is all I see. And for Baumgartner, a lot of people that already turned on her were never for her in the first place. She still doesn't understand that. And I'm going to tell you something. When people wake up and go, you call Shields' name, you don't want to fight her. You call Serrano's name, but you don't want to fight her in a 12-round fight. You know, you call Katie Taylor's name, but you're not trying to go up and fight her either. And you come back and you fight Delphine Persoon. So what's next for you? If your name is big time, shouldn't these women be breaking their neck to fight you? You see, worst thing that can happen to Alicia right now for her career is she fights somebody and lose right now. Because they're going to laugh at her. You think you can beat Katie Taylor? You think you can beat Amanda Serrano and you lost to her? You think you was going to go up and beat Shields? It'll be over just like that. And I'm telling you, you'll find yourself in a position of scratching and clawing and trying to desperately get a fight. Because now at this point, you know, people try to blackball you when you got a big mouth and then shit doesn't go your way. Just saying. You want to know what you're going to find out? The people of these other communities that you're sucking ass for are not there for you. They're just not. And instead of people trying to get together and trying to build up something to where, hey, we're going to fight and we're going to help each other. That's how we make our money. No, people don't understand this concept. They think it has to be the opposite. Let's talk shit, let's pull up dirt, and let's just make this bitter rival, this hatred. I can tell you, just from looking at Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall, when I see them around each other, there's no hate there. It's the stupidity of letting these fucking interviewers bait them in. I've seen them look mad. I can see that there's no actual dislike from each other. They may have not liked what one have said about the other, but it's always, like I said, let me ask Savannah a question about Claressa. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to interview Claressa. Then I'm going to tell Claressa what Savannah said. The next time I interview Savannah, I'm going to tell her what Clarissa said, and that type of shit. Man, let me tell you something. The fact that people have to put on this act like we hate each other. I don't have to hate you to fuck you up. I'll fuck you up physically, fully, from head to toe, and not have a hateful bone in my body about you. Might even feel bad after I do it, but I know I'll do it again in a heartbeat. That's what the fuck we do. Why in the fuck do we have to put this fake bullshit on? And then we going forward. People always say going forward. How are you going forward when we keep repeating the same shit over and over? Making the same mistakes, the same bad decisions over and over. You're not going forward. You're just talking shit. This is where boxing is right now. Man, I sat back last night. And I'm not going to say who, but I just sat back and listened to 15 different channels. Nobody wasn't talking about shit. Nobody wasn't talking about shit. All they were doing was talking about he said, she said. And these are much bigger channels than mine. And I noticed the viewership was low and everything. And I'm like, They're trying to talk about what's in the news, but it's not boxing news. So they have to find something to talk about to keep the videos coming out every day. And when they give you this bullshit, you're going, oh shit, she fucked him too? Yo, that's crazy. Yo, but I remember when such and such said, yo, she probably fucked that nigga too. And this is what the conversation, this is how it's going. Black people, wake the fuck up. People of Earth, wake the fuck up. We are here. I want to enjoy my life, and I am. For you guys, that is just, I need some drama. I need the bullshit. As a content creator, I'm not here to serve you. I'm here to give people something real. And I would rather give life lessons than to sit back and feed into this garbage. I don't hate Alicia Baumgardner. I don't know her personally. She said some shit and did shit that I think was foul and fucked up. Yeah, and I've addressed that. I don't know Clarissa Shields personally. I don't have a problem with her confidence. I don't care that she thinks she can beat men. That's good. Ronda Rousey thinks she can beat men. I don't know if you guys remember, but they had a match set up between Ann Wolfe and a man. Every time you turn around, you see a video of a woman arm wrestling some big brolic chick arm wrestling a little 135-pound guy, right? So there's always, Clarissa Shields is not even one of the first women to say she can beat a man in something. It's just the fact that she's successful and she is where she is, and people don't like that shit for whatever reason. But once again, crab in the barrel ass black people, this is what y'all do. You hate your own fucking kind, then you turn around, oh man, these fucking bitches think they better than men. Yeah, I know. And those are the motherfucking ones that y'all chasing. At the end of the fucking day, though, you're going to learn the hard way. Problem with most of you is you're not going to learn at all. You're just going to go through shit and never stop back and think, why am I going through this kind of shit? Got to wake up at some point, man. Boxing needs to get back to boxing. What boxing is right now, it definitely shouldn't be. This is bullshit. Turkey Island Sheik, you got your fucking work cut out for you. You've been putting on amazing shows. Matchroom, you've been putting on amazing shows. Okay, let me just leave it at that, because these other companies, not so much. But you guys, if you cater to the bullshit, then you're not doing anything different from anybody else. If you understand what's good and what's not, what's legit, what's right, what's wrong, it should be easier for you to make better decisions. Sky Nicholson, I want to see you against Amanda Serrano. Hopefully Amanda Serrano do the right thing and make the fight happen with you. I don't give a fuck about Amanda versus Katie Taylor 3. I don't give a shit about that fight. Okay, we've seen them do this dance twice already, and basically you had a bunch of whining crybabies both times, and third time will probably be no different, and who gives a fuck anyway? Sky Nicholson versus Amanda Serrano. I don't give a fuck who you think is going to win. Make the fucking fight. Make it happen. Make it fucking happen. Jaron Ennis You can't go into a fucking fight talking about, I can't get up for this guy. As a professional, it's your job. Okay? And to get to that bigger bag, and you already, to get to that bigger bag that you want, well then, yeah, you earn that shit. It ain't given to you. Oh, it's like, what if somebody said, well, I'm only going to pay you what you asking for if you give a fucking top level performance. Is that enough motivation? Terrence Crawford, you don't have a lot of time left on the clock. And to be called pound for pound best, you got to fight the pound for pound best still. Not fucking live off of what you did in the past. Canelo Alvarez, same exact thing go for you. Either you want the smoke or you don't. Carmelo Moulton, you're a badass in that ring. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't get caught up into the hype. It's going to be difficult with the way the business model of boxing is, but keep your shit going. You are very exciting to watch, and I love watching you knock people the fuck out. Tank Davis, you a beast in that ring. You've been doing this shit for a minute. Don't lose your fucking focus. If you're going to walk away, but don't come back. Come back for what? For what? What are you going to do different when you're older than right now? Do your thing. Fight motherfucking Shakur Stevenson. If you're not going to fight Shakur Stevenson, fight Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis, you a badass in that ring. Keep a level head, keep doing what you're doing, and understand, you can't satisfy these fucking fans. You can only do what you have to do for yourself. They're going to cheer, they're going to boo. In fact, the people that cheer you now might boo you tomorrow. So guess what? Keep your focus and understand this shit don't last forever. Shakur Stevenson, you need to somehow get in the mix of things. I don't know what you're going to do different. People, they shit on your style. They say you run. They say you can't knock nobody out and all this kind of shit. And either you're going to understand you're going to be the best version of who you are, or you're going to fall to their pressure. Either way, keep focused, man. You don't need to say dumb shit or get yourself caught up in social media back and forths. For what? And especially if that happens and then no fight comes into fruition, then what was all that for? Just talking. You're a talented fucking fighter, man. But we need to see more fights and less talk. Anthony Joshua, pick yourself up. Whatever you choose to do, you're your own man. But don't doubt yourself. If you doubt yourself, there's no need to come back. Come back and understand you just lost another fight. But guess what? There's more fights out there. Like you said, make it mean something. Deontay Wilder, we don't know exactly what you want to do or who you want to fight. Understand you can't afford another loss. But it's far more respected to come back and fight a respectable guy and win than to come back and fight some meatball, look good, and then start yelling, I'm still the best heavyweight out there. Do what you got to do. Get the win. If you come into that $50 million fight or whatever, so be it. It's not my concern about how much money y'all make. But bottom line is, when you have something to prove, it only makes sense when you prove it against somebody that's worth getting in the ring with, and it has the respect on their name. Because that is what separates good from greatness, from great to greater. Simple. Come back and do your thing. Add more to that right hand. Whatever it is, make it happen. Alicia Baumgardner, you're a talented fighter. But you proved that in the ring. Not by taking cheap shots on videos and having to hit a reset button. Having a fucking tainted past of cheating. Drug out, being accused and caught having, steroids in your system, never explaining yourself. Conor Benn, same thing. We don't have there was no full disclosure on what was in it. We know what was said to be in the system, but how it got there, nothing. Understand something, Alicia. You're still a black woman no matter where you go and what you do. So no matter how many people might talk shit about you to Claressa Shields, it's just because they hate that black woman more than they hate you. And if you will be the Sambo for them to go against someone, not because she did anything to you, you guys are fighters, right? You're competitors. I have no problem with anybody going in to fight each other. Some fights I just think make less sense because, like I said, we got weight classes for a reason. But if you're not willing to go up and fight against Claressa Shields at 154, there's no reason to call her name. And there's no reason to focus on words that was said about her entanglement when you got someone saying that they had a bunch of dudes that ran through you. You a black woman just like Shields. Get on your motherfucking square. Go out there, whoop ass, and take names. And also, stop making stupid comments about you can't argue with broke people and broke people. Because I guarantee you, it's mostly broke people coming to your fights. It's mostly broke people looking up to you. Ain't nobody with money looking up to you. So when you make those comments, that's ignorant as fuck. Focus on the ring. Do your shit. It is what it is. Who else do I feel like talking to? Sky Nicholson. I hope you get your shot. Nothing against Amanda Serrano, but I hope you get your shot, and I hope you win, and I think that you can. If you don't get her, you got to go to the next best possible fight, of course. Whatever you can get your hands on. You know you are a champion. You can defend your title. It's so fucked up how championships don't mean much of shit in these days if you don't have the popularity to go with the belt. But handle your business. If Amanda's not going to fight you, hopefully she let the belts go so you can become unified, undisputed, or at least make the effort to do so. Hey, it's fights. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. Claressa Shields, no matter what the fuck nobody say, you are the GOAT. And because people hate that shit, and they hated the fact I already know if you wasn't a black woman, wherever you from, people would praise you even more. Especially Americans. They would praise you even that much more. But we already know, you the Serena Williams of this shit, and we know why they hate you so much. It ain't got nothing to do with, oh, she talked too much shit. We know why these Sambo black people out here feel the way they do about you. We already know this. We already know this. Keep your head up. Keep your focus and do what you're doing. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Truth is truth. And we're not going to try to fucking replace truth with lies and opinions and make them as facts. But that's the fucking world we live in. To all of the serious, real deal fighters out there, handle your business and do what you do. A new way. Keep kicking ass, bro. Keep doing what you're doing out there. It's just for Joseph Parker. Do your thing, man. Go in there and make a statement against Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, go in and defend your title. Make a statement. But goddamn, man, we need boxing. We need fucking boxing. All we keep getting is a bunch of talk, a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of bullshit. This shit is fucking hard. You know what? I feel like Jaron Ennis. Like, man, to get myself up to do these fucking videos and ain't nobody doing shit but just talk. That shit is nonsense, man. But then when you got fighters that want the smoke, y'all don't want to see it. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.